Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Strange Saturday Super Show. Today, we're talking about Metalshark Bro, a book that came out from Scout Comics a decent amount ago now in 2019. Wild that was 6 years ago.
Wild.
This is coming at us from the writer duo of Bob France and Kevin Cuff. They've worked on books like the Metalshark Bro spin-off Ninja Nuns, Mixed Magical Martial Arts, and Skeeters. And the artist on the book is Walt Ostile, who has worked on books like Shiver Bureau. It is also lettered by Cass Pangburn, and that's a full creative team on this book.
What's wild, I didn't realize until you read the team out. I definitely met these folks at C3E2 last year because I have a copy of Mixed Magical Martial Arts.
Oh, do you? Oh,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Yeah, funny lads.
Thank you.
But in any case, let's talk about this book. I had read this before, and I put this forth because all of a sudden this book popped into my head, and I was like, how have we not done this for Strange Saturday Super Show? Because this might be one of the weirdest premises for a book that
It's incredibly wild.
But speaking of the premise, let's talk about how this book kicks off. We start off on kind of a like yacht in the ocean where a couple of Satanists are having a good time. They try to high five while hailing Satan. One hits the other in the face and sends him tumbling off of the boat, where he is eaten by a shark, a completely normal, non-anthropomorphized shark, which is important. And then we get introduced to Beelzebub, who is Satan's nephew. He comes on this skull motorcycle, and he basically chews out this non-sentient shark.
Chews out? He didn't even do that on purpose. He's just a natural.
I didn't. But it's here for it because the book is full of those types of puns. And stuff. So he chews out the shark, realizes that the shark cannot understand him chewing him out, so he turns him into an anthropomorphized shark so that he can understand him chewing him out. And then he basically tells him that guy that you ate, his soul was owed to my uncle, so now you're in debt to us. And the now dubbed Metalshark Bro. Metalshark Bro is like, I just want to go back to being a shark, man. I don't want to be an anthropomorphic shark. And so they make a deal. Beelzebub gives him this list of souls owed to Satan. And if Metalshark Bro kills these people and thus allows their soul to go to hell, he will get turned back into a normal shark. And we jump straight from this into just a montage of Metalshark Bro murdering folks.
Well, real quick, I want to say I love so much that entire sequence that you just described was over like 3 or 4 pages.
2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6, but there's a 2-page splash and a splash in there. So it's
they immediately jump into it with us. Like there is no beating around the bush. We don't spend a lot of like extra time with the bro that Metalshark Bro eats. They really get right into it, which I think is so smart. Because it sets the pace for the book, which is like we're gonna be moving real quick, and it kind of sets the tone for the book where it's like, all right, people are just dying all over the place here. Like we don't have to worry about like the weight of people dying, which is a really important thing to set up for this, because like every other page, Metalshark Bro is killing people.
Yeah,
so, like, it helps take a lot of the like impact of that away, which is good because we don't want to feel bad about the fact that Metalshark Bro is killing these people.
Absolutely, and like that just gets further when the next page is just a splash or a 2-page splash montage of Metalshark Bro killing people, and a weird Yeti-looking monster randomly in there to kind of open up the door that this is just a wacky book, and you kind of just got to roll with things that are really wild. We then get what might be one of the weirder scenes in the book in terms of its breakneck pace, because it's just Metalshark Bro like lounging in a park and kind of talking about the fact that he wants to be a shark again, and then a cat comes up and he's talking to this cat. The cat bites him and he eats the cat away and goes, well, time to get back to work. And
It's this book is so bonkers with like the style of humor that it employs.
It's my favorite style of humor. It's just absurdist humor at its best.
Yeah, it really is. And it's so fast that you never have to like sit with anything, which is a boon for the book. Absolutely. Yeah.
Fully agree. We then jump as we like again. You speak about how like this book really like sets up all of its beats like in a row here before we get to like any more plot heavy stuff. So we get told it's 3 months later now. We jump to the Holy Land where a couple of priests, like the head priest guy, is talking to a lower down priest, and he's basically saying, "This is the beginning of Armageddon. It's prophesized that a shark-headed, killing machine would come and bring about the end of the world." And the younger priest is like, "Where is that in the Bible?" And the head priest is like, "It's in the secret Bible with the dinosaurs and Black Jesus." And I'm like, that's just funny. Like, that's great. And then we get introduced to, I mentioned it when we were talking about the spin-off, we get introduced to the Ninja Nuns as they kind of get this cool splash stalking page as it's implied that they are going to go after.
Which, unironically, I love that the absurdist humor is like so on brand for your type of humor. Anything nun related is immediately a hit for me.
So having Ninja Nuns in another strange Saturday
Super Show. It really cackled me. Yeah. We definitely should, because it had me cackling. I love nun humor.
I love that, like, we get this cool badass splash, and then randomly in the middle of it, one of them's just doing the splits.
Right.
Like, it's all these cool poses, and then one is just doing the splits, and it's so fun. Like, this book is just so ridiculously funny.
I feel like that's a good time to stop and talk about. Can you remind me the name of the artist?
Yes, give me a hot second. The artist is Walter Ostel.
Yeah, Walter. Ostel is
my brain keeps putting the I in front of the L when it's after the L. Ostel.
Ostel does such a good job. One with character design. Like Metalshark Bro looks great.
We'll talk about another character.
Yeah. My one gripe with Metalshark Bro is his nipples. I couldn't look away. They were like flapping around, and I couldn't stop staring at them. But other than the nipples, he does an amazing job. He's attracted
to the shark is the problem.
He
does, I think, at one point complain that he was turned. I think when he's turned into it, he complains he was turned into like
he looks like furry bait or something. Yeah. Which, deeply funny, deeply true. But the way that Metalshark Bro looks is so immediately convincing, and the way that he like moves around, because a shark is not like a great anthropomorphic thing. It doesn't have limbs. Its head is upward. Like turning a fish into something that looks human and like emotes and moves around like a human, very funky to do. They also chose to give him like a massive sword, which looks so good.
Full anime sword. Very entertaining.
Yeah, and as we go through, there are all of these characters that we meet, and all of them feel so visually distinct. And like it's in the writing as well. Like, this book is just bit city,
Oh yeah.
Like, it's bit after bit after bit.
Throw jokes at the wall and hope that some stick. And
they do.
Yeah, they do.
And I feel like that transfers over into the character design as well. Like, every character looks so like intentional and feels like it's pushing the comedic sensibilities of the book, which is so great, because they work so well.
I fully agree with you. It's great designs all around. There's one that I really want to talk about when we get there, but I'm going to wait because we're almost there. So then basically we get Metalshark Bro with this giant list walking towards a mountain, and he mentions, importantly, to kind of set up the main plot of this book, there's only a few names left on the list. He's getting close to being completed. But right now he's going after a name that has a star next to it, which is important. So he climbs this mountain. It takes him a long time, and he comes upon this demonic-looking wizard who is basically telling him that he will not be able to do anything against him. And Metalshark Bro's like, oh no. And he's like, well, what about we make a deal? Like, you turn me back into a shark and I won't kill you. And the wizard is like, no chance. So the wizard takes him to another realm, like this trippy dream sequence-esque realm, and basically reveals that he's this, satanic goat looking, your typical.
With his dong out.
Yeah, with his tongue out. It's a front tail, actually. Importantly, he tries to claim.
It's a front tail.
Exactly. So they start fighting in this trippy dream world, which is another thing where you got to give credit to just how beautiful this looks. Colors and art. It's really visually fantastic. And the important thing we get to in this fight is that eventually this wizard summons these soldiers that are skeleton ghosts, both skeletons and ghosts, importantly, because it's much more entertaining that way. And the issue with this is they can hit Metalshark Bro, but he seemingly cannot hit them. So this is very problematic. He's unable to fight them. And then out pops an eyeball with wings and a top hat who starts like cryptically giving him advice. Yeah, a bowler hat. You're right. I kind of want to show people this. I'm gonna try to quickly. There we go. Look at that lad.
And he's got like all of the mechanics of an eye, like all of the like red sinews dripping down from him.
This design I wanted to talk about because it's just so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, like you said, you can use them as limbs, so it like adds to his design. But basically, he starts giving this like cryptic advice about like what are you fighting, and Metalshark Bro's like skeletons, and he's like, and what? Ghosts. And so basically, this leaves Metalshark Bro to realize that he is allowing them to hit him. Yeah. And if he doesn't allow them to hit him, they will pass straight through him like he does them. So they become useless. The wizard is very annoyed by this, and then Metalshark Bro stabs him very violently with his giant sword.
Yes.
The eyeball then is attempting to tell Metalshark Bro something about the wizard's power, but Metalshark Bro is hungry and eating the internal organs and heart of the wizard, so he doesn't really listen.
Yeah.
But we come away from that in this post fight. They're back in the normal realm, and the eyeball's like, "Are you gonna kill me now?" Metalshark Bro starts going through names on the list to make sure that he doesn't have to kill the eyeball, and the eyeball waits way too long to reveal that he just doesn't have a name, so his name could not be on the list. And so then they start talking about what they should name the eyeball. Metalshark Bro wants to name him Blinky, but the eyeball dubs himself Ira instead.
The start of a long series of eye-related puns that spans the rest of the volume.
Oh yeah,
which
Iron Shark puns everywhere.
The amount of puns they're able to come up with is frankly impressive.
Like I said, they just throw so much humor at the wall, and because it's that kind of book. Like, it's not like nobody's sitting there being like, "Why are there jokes every 5 seconds?" Like, of course there's jokes every 5 seconds. It's a shark and an eyeball.
Metalshark Bro.
Yeah. Like, this book is never attempting to take it so seriously. Like you said, like immediately they undercut any sort of like feeling of the weight of what they're doing. So obviously they're going to lean into the joke side. We're not sitting there like, "Oh, they're murdering folks." We're like, "No, this is a fun adventure."
And like, we jumped over a little bit, but the fact that the main character's motivation is to become a non-sentient shark again, is such an important like core of the book. Like, it's
such a cool motivation.
It really is
a lot.
And it's also fully nonsense because it's like, you won't have to live with any of this. We don't have to worry about like your like if the goal that you are reaching for is to be a brain dead shark who eats license plates, you don't have to worry about like deep character growth or anything. Because for the character to succeed, all of that has to go away.
Absolutely. And if they lean the other way, you would get there, assuming you get there, and be like, "Oh well, kind of sucks that he has to become a normal shark again." But instead, the book leans into a way where you're like, "No, it's nice if he gets to be a normal shark again." But anyway, we then get the ninja nuns showing up and attacking in what is one of my favorite like action sequences in the book. It's incredibly entertaining to see these ninja nuns fighting with all their weapons against Metalshark Bro's gigantic sword, while Ira is they're kind of making sex jokes and nun jokes constantly, and they're going back and forth, and it's very entertaining. Metalshark Bro is actually struggling a little bit when Ira lets out a beam of like disintegration that just takes out one of these ninja nuns, and the rest retreat. And Metalshark Bro learns that Ira has that incredible power, which is a nice little beat for that fight.
It's so well done in like an action sense. Like
Yeah.
you get a lot of kind of like goofy visuals as you go through, but it reminds me a little bit of it reminds me, it's maybe because the nuns are there, but it reminds me a bit of Battle Pope, where
Yeah.
like you have these really goofy visuals, but then when you get to the action and the combat, it's like, oh, we're gonna lean into like the really cool side of comic book combat.
It's when a book isn't just banking on its absurdist,
Hmm.
like Battle Pop, where it's like, yes, you picked this up because of the absurd title and the absurd premise, but that doesn't mean we're gonna phone in the actual like making of the book and
Yeah,
construction of the book, which is so nice. It's just
it
nice
really
to be like,
is.
it's absurd, but it's well done, and
Yeah.
it's a good balance. So I agree, Battle Pulp's a good shout there. We then jump to a diner where Metalshark Bro has killed everybody who works there. They're eating at this diner, and we importantly learned as Ira is asking about Metal Shark Bro eating the wizard. We learned that Metal Shark Bro doesn't really like to eat the people he kills on the list because he thinks it's a cliche, and he's actually more of a showman, which is deeply funny to
It's
me.
so funny. And I mean, you immediately see the fact that he, when he's transformed into an anthropomorphic shark, that he's like, metal shark. Metal shark meaning like metal, the music genre, because he ate like a metalhead. Uh,
Yeah,
so like I love that there's like these little glimmers of the metalhead that he ate, because we didn't spend
well, it's
time
fun
with
because
that guy.
it's both like the Metal Shark and the Bro come from people like
Yeah.
he's a mix of like Surfer Bro and Metalhead, which is
Hmm.
incredibly funny combination.
Oh yeah.
And that's the vibe that like Satanists and Hell are given in this book for some reason. It's like Satanists are metal heads mixed with Surfer Bros, and like that's like the vibe of this book, and it's just hilarious. Like there's points where Metal Shark Bro and even like other characters will just start saying bro at like the end of every
Oh
single
yeah.
sentence, and it's or the beginning of every single sentence, and it's just incredibly funny. Um, yeah, it's such a good flavor thing that they have a very like unique take on hell and Satanists
Yeah.
and all of their stuff.
And unique flavor is also why he doesn't like eating people anymore, because of all of our weird body sprays.
Yeah, he likes all natural
Hmm.
humans, and you know I'm assuming the water usually would at least cleanse some of that off, and you know now
I
if
would
he eats them
hope.
on land, he's got to deal with all that shit. But anyway, very quickly, they decide that they should get back to killing. We get another one of these montages, with way funnier kills this time. One, it starts with a chainsaw, which is at least fairly normal for Metal Shark Bro, but then we get him driving a car and running somebody over, pretending to be a chef to poison somebody, and finally tying somebody to train tracks and allowing a train to run them over. Hilarious. They walk away saying there's only one person left on the list. But this is maybe my favorite gag in the book. I find
Oh
this
yeah.
page deeply hilarious as he, I guess, got bored with killing people with a
Well,
sword and
he's
just
a
decided
showman,
he's a
Jay.
showman. You're right. You're right. So he just does these theatrical, ridiculous kills. And the Metal Shark Bro, like driving the car is one of my favorite
It's
visuals
so funny.
in the book with Ira in the passenger seat, of course, riding shotgun. But then we get another hilarious visual gag as we find out the last person is a musician, so they go to this concert venue and they need disguises. So Ira is wearing a giant false mustache, hilarious, and then Metal Shark
Amazing.
Bro is wearing your classic thing slash Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trench coat and hat, which is a nice little classic comic book visual for you. Um, Basically, they run through this venue, find a guitar, and figure out that this is probably the not showroom, dressing room is the term I was looking
Hmm.
for, of the musician. They come in and they find the musician basically doing a satanic ritual, and in stopping them, they get all of the stuff mixed up with a box of donuts, and these donuts turn to demonic creatures.
Which, another shout to the character designs.
Oh
What the
yeah,
fuck? So good. Like donuts with teeth in the middle. So funny. Deeply
oh,
funny. And
oh
like
yeah,
because of the ridiculousness of the book, it really does work on the page. Like they're treated with the same like weight and scariness as skeleton ghosts and ninja nuns. So like it does feel like a fun, exciting fight. Like Metalshark Bro,
it's another very well choreographed fight. Like
yeah, yeah.
The fights have a lot of energy to them, which is very nice.
I also deeply like that Metalshark Bro never feels like a particularly competent fighter. It's just like, yes, he is strong and he has a big sword. But like Ira's always there to like give him tips or like help out. Because otherwise
point out the very
Bro,
obvious thing that he's forgetting.
Is very willing to just like run in headlong. And I feel like that is a really great and exciting trait for a character to have, especially in like a really rubbery book like this, where like you're expecting big hits and big action. So the fact that Metalshark Bro is always willing to dive in, teeth first, great trait for him to have as a character.
Agreed, absolutely. But in the fight, they kind of knock into the wall. A bit of the surrounding terrain lands on Metalshark Bro's sword, bounces away from him, and the like Twinkie looking donut, which I feel like is important to note that it's the non-circular donut.
I also feel it's important to note when Jay says Twinkie, he's talking about the snack.
You're the only person who goes to these places.
I don't think so. The year of our Lord 2025.
That's fair. That's fair. I wish they had made that joke. I'm shocked that they didn't make that joke because they made every other joke. But Twinkie gets Metalshark Bro's sword and is about to strike down on him when Ira just blasts him to Kingdom Come, which is just
he hits him with a fucking cinder block, doesn't he? Am I crazy?
Yeah. You're right. It bounced away. They have a pink stream though, which makes it look like he also blasted him, or he like.
I think you were supposed to think that he blasted him, and then the like gag reveal is that he just hit him with a cinder block. Because we know that Ira has this powerful I-beam, but it's like deeply funny that he doesn't use it. He's just like, let me pick up a cinder block.
Well, I was about to get there where I was gonna say like it's just that constant reminder of like Ira could take care of all of this so easily.
Oh yeah,
he just like chills for the most.
He's a magical entity.
Yeah. Then we get another deeply funny gag where the musician runs over to thank them for saving him from the evil dessert, and Metalshark Bro just very quickly slices off his head, and they call the dude a total weirdo as they leave. And now they've completed the list, and they're like, "What?" Metalshark Bro's like, "What? Do I need to do anything? Is he just gonna come?" And in fact, Beelzebub does indeed come, but he makes fun of Metalshark Bro for believing that he would actually fulfill his end of the bargain. Metalshark Bro threatens him, and we don't really get the full reveal yet, but we see that Beelzebub has snapped them somewhere, and they're falling from the sky. We then go to like waiting room in hell. I think that's the best description I can give it.
Yeah. Satan's office.
Yeah, Satan's office. And we get Beelzebub on the phone with his friend Steve, who is this like orc-looking demon who apparently owes Beelzebub for giving him a spell book that allowed him to take over a realm. And so Beelzebub has transported Metalshark Bro into Steve's realm, and Steve assures Beelzebub that he will kill Metalshark Bro for him. Then Beelzebub gets his meeting with Satan. Satan threatens him with a fire poker and then immediately makes fun of him for thinking that he could actually be hurt with fire because he is a demon. And Satan is not happy with Beelzebub. He is like losing his mind, and we get another funny gag, which is that Satan cannot hold his form, so he's like changing between different interpretations of Satan depending on like different genres and styles and stuff.
It's very silly. I love it.
Fantastic. It's great. But yeah, basically, Beelzebub assures Satan that Metalshark Bro will be taken care of, and then we flip to this magical realm. I love the hell waiting room and the office and that whole scene. It's deeply funny to me.
I feel like Beelzebub is like he's not on until the very end of the book. He's not on the page all that often. Like he's in maybe like I don't know, a 10th of the book.
Yeah.
He is so impactful every time he's there. Like, he's always got something real fucking dumb to say. And I appreciate that about him. I appreciate that about him deeply.
He's such a high level of stupid.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about more later specifically, but I always like when like there's a like placeholder for Satan for us to fight instead. Like it's a nice thing, and I think Beelzebub was a great character to put in for that. But basically, we jump back to Metalshark Bro and Ira falling from the sky. They land inside of the ground in this realm, and they are suddenly surrounded by these orc-like creatures, all with weapons, and they give in fairly easily because they are just too surrounded. Again,
Ira's instruction. Metalshark Bro was ready to fully fight an army.
Oh yeah. And then Metalshark Bro waits until Ira is locked up in a cage to ask Ira why he didn't use his laser beam, and Ira explains there's some sort of dampening field in the cage. And so they are taken into this prison with a bunch of other people that have been enslaved as well. I guess just imprisoned is
kind of gladiated.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very gladi-esque. That's not a word. Deal. But we get what the book even calls out itself for being the Return of the Jedi moment of these people thinking Ira is a god, and thus they are able to get these people rallied to do an uprising against Steve. And every time I say Steve in this book, it's
very funny. Silly. I want you to know, on brand for me as a person, I was like, I don't quite know what they're referencing here, but I'm gonna guess it's Star Wars.
Yes, it is indeed Star Wars, and it is wild that you did not know that.
I think I've seen Return of the Jedi once and didn't pay very much attention.
In any case,
it's like, are they making a Lord of the Rings reference? Is this Return of the King? It doesn't make sense for it to be. Poor Jay is dying. It's because he's being mean to me.
Not quite as funny as the book, but that's deeply funny. We get a staged fight between Metalshark Bro and one of the prisoners / gladiators. And so when the guards come in to try to break up the fight, they get jumped by all of our forces, and we do very well taking them all out fairly easily until Steve shows up with his magic spell book. And Steve, on theme for this book, summons a mystical skeleton dragon, because that's the vibe. The mystical skeleton is the vibe for magic in this book.
Absolutely.
Which is also very visually
phenomenal design. Yeah.
Yeah, great design.
Screw the Star Wars references. Show me more dragons.
But basically, fairly quickly, after trying to run away for a little bit and then deciding to charge at the dragon, both Ira and Metalshark Bro are eaten by the dragon. Chopped.
Fully swallowed in one go.
Oh yeah. And then somehow the skeleton dragon has a stomach, being, a skeleton dragon.
Well, I believe they also at one point call it a zombie dragon.
They do. That's
so we
fair.
have some presence of flesh.
That's true. Fair play. But in the stomach you have classic dragon treasure and warrior's armor and stuff. So this is actually where we finally get the payoff of that earlier set, which I love when even a book like this can do an early setup and payoff of Ira explaining to Metalshark Bro that since he ate the wizard's heart earlier, he now has the powers of the wizard. And so basically they decide to start suiting up with all of the various treasure around. Ira is also looking for a new hat.
Which is another important payoff to me personally, because all the way back when we first met Ira, we learned that he could have had a name, but he had to choose between having a name and having the bowler hat that he wears.
Yeah.
So we love the character continuity of valuing hat over everything.
That was also a very funny gag. I can't believe I forgot to I'm glad you shouted that out, because that was a very funny gag. And this is a fun come to circle for his hat. We then see the dragon exploding from the inside out. And Metalshark Bro and Ira come out decked out. Metalshark Bro's got golden armor, and Ira's got a metal jacket holding 3 swords and this giant Lincoln-esque top
like
hat,
Dr. Facilier from the Princess and the Frog skull themed hat.
Yeah, he's got a big old skull and then like like the spiked collar around that.
It's so great.
Great visual. But they don't actually have to do anything against Steve because as this dragon exploded, a bone impaled Steve straight through the chest. He got boned. And he's just dead. So Ira picks up, Metal Shark Bro picks up the book. Ira ends up taking it from him. And summoning
a good call.
A very good call. Though maybe a bad call in the sense that Ira often doesn't do anything.
I mean, I think I would rather have a super powerful magical item in the hands of someone who does nothing as opposed to someone who does so much.
You know what? I acquiesce. You are correct. But they teleport to, this is another setup type thing where the reason Beelzebub kept trying to like put off his work and do stuff was because he wanted to go on vacation.
Yeah.
So we teleport to Beelzebub on the beach, and Metal Shark Roach is like wrecking through all the beach furniture coming after him, and Beelzebub immediately tries to sell out his uncle. Oh yeah. And this gives us a cutaway to things connecting Satan on the phone with the head priest from earlier, who basically offers to take care of Metal Shark Bro if Satan will consider them even. Because apparently, priest owed Satan, and Satan agrees to his terms. So, we cut back. Ira has just taken a seat in the lounge chair and is reading the book now, while, Metal Shark Bro is fighting Beelzebub. Beelzebub isn't able to do much. He tries to fight back, but it's not really working.
He's up against a Metal Shark Bro.
Of course
it's not going to work.
Then, a giant mecha ninja nun appears, towering over everybody. And Beelzebub is very happy. And Metal Shark Bro it does not think that this is fair. So, finally doing something, Ira finds a spell in the book to embiggen Metal Shark Bro. And we get the kaiju stare down.
So absurd. So wild. Like, this book, it really does hit on so many, like, incredible visuals. This was one of my favorites. Like, giant Metal Shark Bro up against giant Ninja Nun. So good.
I love how scrawny his legs still are when he gets huge. Like, he has these toothpick legs and then this, like, monstrous upper body. And I find that deeply funny.
Incredibly.
But we get this big fight between the two of them. They're going back and forth until suddenly the Mechanon blasts Metal Shark Bro, tosses him into the water. He submerges, and they think he's dead. But as the Ninja Nun goes into the water to scan for life, blunk. Shark visual.
Importantly, we get a little musical cue in the book. We get the dun.
We do.
Incredibly funny. Also, while this is happening, Ira's like, "Hey, Beelzebub, want to like be friends?" Which they're like, "Let's go get drinks." And I thought that was deeply funny.
It's so funny. Beelzebub's even like, "Shouldn't we be fighting?" It's like,
it's like, no, I'm tired.
Yeah. No, it's deeply funny that we have like the cut between and it's just the two of them like watching like it's a movie or something. Mm-hmm. So Metal Shark Bro comes out of the water, bites Mechanun's head off in another fantastic visual. You're gonna need a bigger bot joke from Ira because we gotta hit all the pop culture references and jokes.
That was also a really good one. That was my favorite pun in the entire book.
It works so well because the we're gonna need a bigger is used so often in Shark with the thing, but this is the first time that it's with like something that actually like sounds like or looks like boat.
Exactly.
Boat. It's much quicker than we're gonna need a bigger helicopter or whatever the other uses are. Metal Shark Bro comes out. Beelzebub is ready. They start fighting. Beelzebub tries to dick laser him.
Importantly, after saying, let's go mano a mano, he then tries to dick laser him.
Yeah. That's how else would one go mano a mano?
Wang a wang.
Wang. Ira then blasts Beelzebub, to kind of distract him, Metalshark Bro punches his heart out.
So good.
In another fantastic splash page visual, in which Beelzebub also you get a good look at his shorts, which have pineapples and Satan's trident
pitchfork.
Yeah.
Oh, such good. Like, that's the type of thing where it's like, that is just the artist having fun.
Oh yeah, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And you get the like really great. My favorite thing is when like there's kind of a punch through the back type thing where someone goes all the way through someone and their ribs kind of like flash out. That's always a good look to me.
Yeah, it's really fantastically illustrated. Even the heart looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it's such a good moment visually. Then Satan arrives, and Metalshark Bro is very ready to fight him. But we pretty immediately learn that Satan is well outside of their power level. That Satan just
like freezes him immediately.
Yeah, he's like, "No, what are you doing, man?" This is kind of what I was alluding to earlier, where it's like, this is why you don't always want them fighting Satan unless it feels like they would be able to fight Satan. It's like, in this, it makes sense that we're fighting. You can
kill Satan's nephew.
Yeah, but Satan, well beyond your powers, but we learned that Satan's he's not all that mad about this. He's like, my nephew. He was kind of a pain. So I'll actually give you a reward for killing my nephew. And we learned that Ira wants sex. And I don't know that we need to touch on that anymore.
No, we don't. I don't, at least.
But Metalshark Bro asks for what he's always wanted. He wants to be a shark again. And as Katie alluded to earlier, he wants to eat another license plate underwater. And Satan turns him into a normal shark, and not in the water, importantly, on the beach. Ira demands that Satan puts him in the water. He does, and we actually get what is like a really nice visual moment of Metalshark.
The fin coming up, yeah.
Importantly, Ira is also offered a job by Satan. So this is our end before we get a little epilogue. But I thought this was actually like very satisfying. It was like,
me too, yeah.
He gets to be a shark. He gets to swim off. Ira's kind of taking care. Like, it's a nice
right.
moment.
Like I was hoping that the last person they were going to be sent to kill was going to be the metal head's like friend from the initial thing. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, maybe we'll have a bit of like kind of emotional conflict there. But I was totally fine with it just being like, I feel like vapid is normally used in such like a derogatory way, but with it being very low on the emotional stakes, like keeping the motivation very pure with like, I want to be a shark again, really helped sell that ending where it's like, okay, yeah, we didn't go through any like deep character work on Metalshark Bro. He is still like so purely desiring to just be a shark that it makes what should be like a weird and sad ending where it's like, oh, well, Metalshark Bro is gone now. He's just a mindless shark again, into a really satisfying one.
Absolutely. But then we jump to what appears to be a hell prison. I love the design of this too. There's like chains, but the opposite way, like holding up these little islands that have prisons on them. And inside of this prison, we see people talking about the fact that Beelzebub is dead. And a figure that we don't fully see grabs the guy who said this by the throat, bites his head off of him, and then says, "Father, I will avenge you. I will end Metalshark Bro." And we get a close-up of his, honestly, very Noctera-esque. This came first, though, I believe. Very Noctera-esque, teeth in a silhouette.
Tony S. Daniel, explain yourself.
Yeah, explain yourself. And I loved this.
So good. What an amazing teaser.
And I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Such a good tease. It makes you want more without cheapening the ending that you got, which is like the perfect way to tease something. Because in this case, they did get more. They have their second volume or their spin-off.
It's a weird thing though, because like it was another one of those like 1+, but I don't think the TPB ever came out physically. I believe there's only a digital version of the TPB, which is
I wonder how that could have happened.
Because I remember when I had first read this, I was looking for it. I could find a physical copies of the first issue of Volume 2. I could find that Volume 2 existed, but I could not, for the life of me, find a way to buy the physical version of Volume 2, which is very sad because I would like to have both of these.
Well, hopefully they got their rights back and can release it somewhere else.
Hope so. But they did 3 things in the franchise between this, the second volume, and Ninja Nuns. So
love it.
You'd hope that they could do more with it. Maybe at Mad Cave. They do books at Mad Cave now. They do theaters. So maybe Mad Cave. We want Metalshark, bro. What are you doing?
Please, we'd like Metalshark, bro. Please. But yeah, what an absolute strange Saturday Super Show. Like, it really, really is.
I told you, I don't know how I didn't think of this sooner.
I also don't know how you didn't.
On brand for it.
Yeah, super duper fun, absolutely ridiculous. And as I think all the best Strange Saturday books are, fun, ridiculous, but also really well made, which is like that really important final bit. Because something can be really fun and really dumb and kind of bad. And this was really fun, really dumb, and very good. Yeah,
I didn't say the part because it's not something that we usually said, but I said to you, like, right after we had recorded when we said we were going to do this, that I was like, I read this, like, 5 years ago. And I was very concerned that it wasn't going to, like, hold up to my new, having read a lot more comics sensibilities. I was like, I am going to ruin this in my memory if this isn't good. I'm going to be very sad. And then I read it, and I was like, "Oh no, this is just straight good," and I'm very happy that this is very good.
Yeah, and it benefits from being not exactly ocean deep, because it's trying to be a good fun time, and it just blows good fun time out of the water.
Yeah, it's just every like comic book trope layered on top of each other with absurdist humor all throughout, and just like, how do we do this thing that's done in comics but make it funny via like the people that are doing it or the thing that's happening around it? It's great in that sense. But yeah, it really is. I think it's very high up on the absurdist scale of
yes, definitely
books we've done on the Strange Saturday Super Show.
I don't think it quite beats out Sea Guy though.
No,
both ocean themed though, which is strange.
The ocean's weird, man. We don't know as much about it as we do anything else, so it makes sense that it would be strange to us.
How poignant.
Well, I hope at some point we'll do both Ninja Nuns and Volume 2 because
I'm sure we will.
This is a fun little franchise that Scout kind of stumbled upon, and the team's fantastic. But yeah, this is a wild book. It's good. It's crazy. It's fantastically illustrated. And it's very funny. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything else?
No, I mean, I think we've said this about a few books that we've read on the pod, but this is one where you really got to read it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, please go out, get Metalshark, bro. Get your hands on it because it is a wild thing to actually like flip through and experience as a reader.
Fully agreed. It's just a good time. But yeah, we've got our normal episodes every Wednesday. You should check that out. Full playlist of Strange Saturday Super Shows, which you should also check out. If you want something, some that we mentioned earlier, Battle Pope. You can watch our episode on Battle Pope.
Or Sea Guy, if you're feeling the motion of the ocean.
Ready for, just... I don't know. Acid Trip is usually what I attribute more to Space Riders.
Right?
Something maybe in while on acid is maybe what I'd say for Sea Guy.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, do we know what our bonus episode for next week is? It's the Absolute
Universe, yeah.
So
we're talking about issues 5.
Yeah, that's the finale of our first season.
Yeah, of all of the DC Absolute books, full spoiler discussion. So if you just want to catch up on what's been happening in the Absolute Universe, tune in there. And check out our video from last weekend, which is a tier list of all of the most iconic comic book resurrections. It was so wild to do because there are a lot of weird ways people have been resurrected over the years.
Oh yeah. For every Jason Todd, Superman, or Bucky Barnes, you have character who was found in a cocoon underwater. So,
after her clone was found years before above water.
Yeah. It's
and we can't forget the worms.
Yeah. The worms. Multiple
instances of resurrecting worms. So be sure to go check that out. Keep an eye out for upcoming episodes and bonus episodes. And for breaking news coming out of the comic book industry. DC and Marvel are teaming up again for the first time in like 2 decades. We go through the very little that we know about that and all of our speculations. But I think that's all we've got.
It's all we've got, so hopefully we'll see you next week. Comic Geeks.